Hey everyone, thinking positive, big hugs to all. So this video, it was supposed to be created like 2 days ago, but I didn't do it because I wanted to show you the example of the end result. I recall that the example was on the Froala pages. If you go to froala.com before, I don't know how long before, maybe a year ago, they had this effect where it was like a typewriter effect that it said use Froala for and then for students, and then it showed like somebody was typing students, and then it removed students professionals, and then it removed the word professionals, and then started typing another word, and so on and so forth. Okay, it was a cool effect. The After searching a lot, I found way too many. I just gotta say, but really bad examples because of the amount of code that is put into that. If you analyze as a developer, if you're listening to me and you're a developer, as a developer, you always need to imagine that you're creating a project, and you know that in college, you know that they teach you that at least the first two steps, the analysis and design of a project, are more important than the actual development, implementation, and testing of the project, because they're based on that you will actually know how long it's going to take, what tools are needed, what knowledge is needed, and so on and so forth. Okay, so something like that, it only needs JavaScript, maybe a little bit of CSS, but I saw cases, so I'm going to close this one. I saw cases like this one. This is for a WordPress site, but the what it does is this. Okay, just starts giving you that typewriter or typing effect. Okay, actually, if you type JavaScript typewriter effect, you're gonna end up on this page too on Google. But this is the effect that it gives you, and you're gonna see how long, how many lines you actually need. You need like, okay, 4 HTML, no problem there. Although I would have used one. Um, and then you have PHP. I have no idea. I'm guessing something related to WordPress. But you need PHP here, and you don't just need a couple of lines. You need a bunch of them, which is a no-go with me. Like that wouldn't be uh, a quick video. And then you need this many JavaScript lines. Again, oh my God, 174 lines of JavaScript there. And then you need this much CSS, and you end up with this effect. Okay, and that's all it does. It types and it stops there, and that's all. What I wanted to offer you, similar to what Froala had a year ago or something, was the following. You will actually get this effect, this typing effect, okay, or even this typing effect here. Yeah, it doesn't. Well, you get this typing effect. It shows a word or a phrase or something, and then starts removing the characters, like somebody deleting them. That's what I wanted to do. That's how Froala was doing a year ago. And then on top of that, I would love for you to be able to control how fast it does that, how long it waits for when the word or the phrase is completed, how long it waits for you to read it before it starts deleting it character by character, and if possible, how to add colors for each different phrase. That's what I wanted to do. That's how the Froala worked, except for the color part. Um, but I wanted to do something like that because it looks cool. It looks cool. So that's what this video is about, to give you the ability to create your own widget and to do something like that. So um, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it here because I'm not very happy with this. So we can change this to something else. Okay, search for, and then you could say here, engineers, doctors, realtors, professionals in multiple areas, designers, architects, etc., etc., etc. So first thing, and I want to minimize the amount of widgets that you need to touch so that if a BD update lands on your site, it doesn't affect this. As always, that's how we always work with the partnerships. And today they were asking me about the partnerships. Remember, the partnerships are in 2R, the number 2 and the letter R, 2rsoftware.com. You come here. 2R Software offers the WordPress packages, and I work with 2R Software to offer the Bring Directories packages. Okay, you click there, you can see what you actually get. And there's several of the plugins that we're offering that are already covered by the maintenance partnership. Premium partnership is basically everything and anything that we've ever created in the past 6-7 years, and anything new that you want. Okay, that's why this little part is here. Unlimited customized projects, including plugins, services, APIs, anything that you want. You do need to know, as always, I always give people bad news. This one is a 6-month commitment minimum. This one's a 12-month minimum. Okay, so yeah, take that into consideration there. And yeah, that's it. But there's a lot of value that you get here. Like one of the partners that we have said, they now have an option to tell their clients that they have an IT department working with them, which they do. As a partner, you actually get an IT department. So we're able to assist your clients if they have any issues with the site that you can't tackle with them. We can guide you there. We can teach your staff too. Basically, as a partner, we're working as your IT department or partnership there to make sure that the site is successful and you have more time to tackle, marketing, talking to the clients, selling better, and all that. But I'll be doing a video about the partnerships later. Okay. So coming back here, we go to settings. Let's go to design settings. Sorry, because we want to edit this baby here. Okay. So homepage, hero title things, search for, yeah, it says. Let's remove this. We're gonna put a spam here. Okay. And let's put a class and we're gonna call it text effect. Okay. Text effect. That's it. That's all that we're putting there. Let me double check. Yeah, everything's good. Okay, we're gonna go to my content. And then we're gonna click here, homepage. And we're gonna create a widget that's gonna, let's say, talk to that text effect spam that we just created. So let's just create a widget and let's call it text effect. I haven't created a widget yet, but we're gonna do that right now. Text effect. That's all. With this text effect, we're now gonna go to settings, design settings again, and we're gonna make sure that we actually execute this widget just on the homepage. So we're gonna go here and I got this custom content one. Every time you edit this one, the first time I mean, it reads the homepage. Well, here you can see it reads the homepage there. Code that you put there. So I'm gonna save that. Sometimes it doesn't do it the first time. It did it here, but let me just double check it. Yep. Okay. So now we got that setup done. We created the widget text effect over there. We could have put it here directly. I normally do it like that because I don't know, bad habits. And here we have this here. So we're ready to actually create the widget. Ready to create the widget there. Let's create our puppy widget. I gotta delete all this. That's previous videos. Text effect, and let's say, let me do something here. I'm gonna call that that specific element. So text effect, and we called it, I think it was an ID. It was an ID. Text effect. I'm gonna double check right now. Let me check something here. I need to make sure that it's an ID and not a class. Okay, it's a class. Let's make it an ID so it doesn't fight with, I don't know, something else over there. Spam ID equals text effect. Sorry about that one. I just need to make sure that we have a good base because there's a lot of logic that we need to think about here. So, okay, we got that done. I'm gonna refresh the cache, which is this blue button here, refresh live website. It should be renamed refresh cache. Just to make sure because we just created a widget and I don't want weird issues that I sometimes happen when you create a new widget. Okay, done. Let me refresh here. Okay, this is how I validate that the spam is actually there. Right click there. We look for it here. There it is. And also because exactly beautiful because we did this here. This is outputting this element that's here, which is good. Which means that I only did this to make sure that this is actually talking to the element that's here. What do you mean? Well, I mean this. Let me show you. Inner HTML. Hi. Let me see. In theory, it should show hi here. There you go. See? So, okay, we know that this is working. This is working. Now, here's remember that project part that I was talking about? Here's where it comes into account. So we're trying to create a system that can, one, read multiple words, okay? Each word could have an assigned color to it. So it changes every time the word changes, okay? We need to make sure that we can read how many characters the words have so we know how many characters we need to move the, let's say, the cursor every time it's creating a new character and where to stop. That's why we need the total amount. We also need to know when we actually um, finished reading the word that we're inputting there, reading the word. So that means it got to the max amount of characters that that word had. And then because we want to do the effect of coming back to 0 characters, like deleting each letter by letter, again, when we actually delete all characters from the word, meaning it showed the word, I don't know, doctor, and then it started deleting the R, the O, and kept on going until the D of doctor, and then it deleted the D. That means that visually speaking, we were able to see the doctor word being typed, and then it got deleted, and we will call that one full um, cycle or something in regards to the word, meaning that we were able to read the word, how big the word was, show the full word, and then remove the full word, and that's a full cycle there. We also need to be able to rotate between the multiple words because we don't want to put just one word. We want to put doctor, physician, software developer, engineer, painter, realtor, all this different words, and not just words. We could put a phrase there too. So we want to give the owner of the site the ability to put multiple words with multiple colors, and even phrases. And independent of how many letters that phrase or word has, it should take that into account when it's rotating between showing each character and deleting each character. So that there's a lot that you mix and match of things that we need to take here into consideration here. Um, so that means that we need a multiple counters. They're called counters. They count if you've achieved or if you got to the limit or something. So for example, I want to count in which character I'm in during a single word or a phrase, so that when I get to the last character, I know that I am in the last character instead of bypassing that and just going crazy. Also, I want to know if when I'm deleting characters, I want to know if I'm in the first character again, so it doesn't keep on deleting stuff that's not there. So we need multiple counters to take that into consideration, and then also rotate between the words. Because if I put 3 words, you want to make sure that it shows, for example, doctors, like that. It types, it deletes, realtors, and then it deletes, but it goes from one word to the next word and does that whole cycle of typing the word in and then deleting character by character the word. That's one full cycle there. We also need to control the animation. So animation control. Okay, how fast that thing is going to be doing it. Maybe a blink cursor or something. I don't know. I saw it there on the other page. I think I saw it on the other page. And some additional, you know, styles and stuff like that. But this is here we have a base. We have a base to work with. So now that we've done more or less the analysis and design, because there might be something else here that we're gonna do, but because we're doing a video, we gotta do it super fast. Um, take this into consideration of what we actually need to accomplish today on this video. So first, I'm gonna start removing some of the hiccups that could happen. When you want to make sure that a JavaScript runs after the whole page loaded, use defer. With that, I take some headaches away. Like for example, this trying to read the element that I created there, but the element doesn't exist at that moment yet. So that's why I put defer. Yeah, I'm having coffee. I need coffee right now. There's too much to think here. Um, okay, so now we're gonna create the words. Okay, text words. I could create an array, which is like this. I could say doctor and you know a painter and something like etc etc. But remember, we want to. I don't want to make it this easy for reading each word. I want to make it so you, the developer, or you, the BD owner. Actually, this applies to any site. It's not just for BD, by the way. But you, the user, are able to actually do this and apply a color to the word. And here's why. Because you might want to also not just apply a color, but also create a link. And I'm just extending this to more complex cases. So for example, let's say the word doctor shows in there and it waits for you just a couple of seconds. But during those seconds, if a user goes here and clicks on it, you want the the behavior to be that it searches on a specific URL for the word doctor. You could do that, okay? You can't do it in an array like this, but you could do it on an object. So we turn this into an object, which is basically just doing this, curly braces, and then that's it. This is a new object. So let's put here, for example, engineers. Search for, let me see the word. search for engineers. Search for realtors. Realtors. Um, search for designers. Actually, let me put the color here too. I found out that this is a nice bluish because, oh, that's another thing that you guys need to know. You see this hexed color here? This hexed is actually 3 colors. I'll put it here. Does this sound anything familiar there? RBG, red, blue, green. Let me show you something. Um, let me look for something that actually has a color, owns a color. Okay, so here's we're gonna do that hex, okay, and I'm gonna do 990000. There's a red, and then now I'm gonna do 009900. Okay, we got the green RGB. Oh my God, did I say RBG? I think I'm listening to too much music. And then the last one is the blue, and that's how the RGB from from TVs, all TVs, CRT comes from. Okay, so you got this baby here. So here you can see that you don't have any red here, but you have a greenish bluish kind of thing here. So the end result for this would be, just paste it here so you can see what I mean. It's a nice bluish color, see? And it would look nice here. So anyway, you learn something else, RGB, and don't listen to reggae or something because you start doing crazy stuff like this. I don't know how I came to that one. So anyway, RGB, red, green, blue. Okay. So let's remove that one. Let me put this back here like this. And we're just gonna copy this. Give me a second. Copy this to actually all of them. You can visually, just in case, you can visually change it like this so you can visually see it better. Okay. Every time you get to the last one, if you're gonna add another one, put a comma, then just start adding them like that. The last one, remove the comma to avoid some issues. That's it. Okay, let's make up some new ones here. Designers, marketers, teachers, very important, teachers. Another profession, doctor, physicians. Okay, yeah, we got enough there. Okay. Once you have your set here, all done and beautiful, let's put it back like this. I mean, you don't have to. It's just that I like my things organized. I know I'm picky. Okay, so there. We got our list of words and the colors that should be assigned to them. Okay. Now, analyzing all the points that we had there before, like 6, 7 points that we had there before, we need something to tell the system, for example, tell the system after the whole word shows, wait there. So wait there a couple of milliseconds, okay? And we also need to know how fast each letter is going to be rendered, so it doesn't go super fast, but at least it gives you the idea that somebody's typing each letter in. So let's put here text letter delay, for example. let's do, I don't know, 200 milliseconds. And then let's do text word delay. So that's when the whole word is completed. And what we can do is just to reuse these two, we can say that the text word delay is just a multiple of whatever I put here. So let's just say that we want them to wait 1 second. Maybe that's too little, but 1 second um, for, because 5 times 200 milliseconds, that's 1 second. Um, for them to wait when the full word is completed. Okay. Now, talking about the text words here, we want to be able to tell where the positions are supposed to be starting. So let's use text words position. We're going to start in position 0. You do need to know that on computer science, arrays always start at 0. Like the first position is not number 1. It's always position 0. And the next position is 1. And the next position is 2, and so on and so forth. Um, uh, okay, this is for the position of the word. Now we gotta do the position of the letters. So we're gonna do text word letter position. I think we're done with that one. Well, okay, we gotta also tell the system how to read how many letters the word has. So we also need to set that up from the beginning. So let's call that text word size, and that's gonna be 0 in the beginning. Let me analyze this for a second. Okay, so now we need to, okay, we need to put, okay, we need to tell the system after the whole word has rendered, how do we know that we're at the last character? So it waits a couple of milliseconds for the user to actually read the word before it starts deleting it. So we need to tell the system that. Okay, so we're gonna say text word max. That's gonna be a Boolean value. And when it gets to the minimum, after it deleted the whole thing, text word min. Actually, let's do it like this. Okay. We also need to tell the system when it's supposed to start deleting letters, like in reversing the whole, like an invert. Instead of showing letters, you delete letters. So we gotta invert the whole thing. So let's do invert text effect order. Okay. Because we want to show, we start typing the letters. We want to, this needs to be false. And then once it gets to the maximum here, then it starts reversing the whole thing. It starts deleting the letters. This kicks in. Uh-huh. Um, I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, actually we need a counter. We need a counter so that it counts in which letter I'm in. And once it gets to the last one of the word, it kicks in the whole waiting time for people to visually see the word. So you know what? And I think that's it. We don't need anything else, I think. The wait time counter. Let's because it's a counter, we're going to start at 0. And that's it. So now we need to read how many words there are here. Okay. I'm not going to do with this with PHP. I'm going to do it with this same JavaScript. We don't need 200 lines of code for that. Jeez. So because it is an object on JavaScript, if you're a developer, you right now, if you want, you can pause and you can think about, how can I count how many elements, in this case keys, are in this object? There's several ways that you'll be able to do it, but the quickest way, and if you know ES6, ECMAScript 6, you'll know that you got this baby here. Keys, we read the actual object, okay? That gives you the keys, the key count, and now you can actually do length. And remember what I said, arrays and stuff like that starts with 0. That means that this is going to give you one additional count there. We just need to put it like a -1 there. Object, keys, text words, length, yep. So this is going to count the whole thing. It's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to give me 7. But if we're going to be using this with a counter or with more specific conditionals, you have to turn that into an array like count. So we put the -1 there. So it starts from 0 is what I'm trying to say there. And we're done. That's it. That's all that we need. That's all the variables that I think we need for now. I might be making a mistake something. Maybe I went too far. Maybe we can delete something here. But we're gonna see right now. So I know for a fact that we're gonna need set interval. Why? Because obviously that effect of typing, it's an interval. It's obvious. That's why this whole thing was created. This part here. This too. So we go inside the set interval, we create our little function, we put our curly braces. I hate when it does that. Do this. And then here for the set interval part is where we put our baby you know text letter delay. Okay. Straightforward. Nothing to see there. Let me see. Text letter delay that's the only one that we need, and this one waits for it. Yeah, okay. I got an idea on how we're gonna merge this one here. Okay. So we got that code there. So basically this is an interval that says do something every so many milliseconds are stored here, which is that 200 thing there. What we want to do is basically give the ability of the owner of the site. Actually, we need to put this to up here. So they know that they can touch this, and anything below here, they're not supposed to be touching. So here they can put the words and the colors for each word. Here they can say how many milliseconds each letter is gonna take, and this is how many, let's say, intervals of this the word is gonna wait when it's completed, when it's fully written. Okay. So first thing that we're gonna do here, text word size. Okay, I know we have it here, but we're about to start reading the words, and now we gotta start reading how many letters they have, because we're gonna start rendering them, and we need to know in which position the letter that we're about to render is gonna be. So text word size, again, not very confusing. We get this text words, okay, and then we read that word, and then we're going to start with the position. Text words position. In which word am I in at that moment? Okay, I'm in this position. Engineer, here's text words position. That means I'm in the first one. That would be 0. So we put here text words position. And now that we got that baby there, we need to know how many letters it has. We do the length. That's it. Not simple. Object keys, text words. Again, this is reading this whole thing. Okay. Then the position, this part, as an array. Remember that this is returning you an array, or at least an array-like format. And then you're able to say in which one of these words you're in at that moment. And then for that specific one, you read the size, how many characters it has. That's the text word size. We got the text word size. Now we're gonna play with that one. Okay. We gotta keep this in mind because we need to use it for several things. So for example, if, okay, and here's where we go with this one. The text word letter position. The text word letter position, this one here, is greater or equals to the text word size, meaning that at some point in the future, the rendered letter that we just did there was the maximum, the last letter for that word. When that happens, that means that visually we have, that's why we gotta go slow with this. That means that we've achieved the last letter of this word, and now we gotta start deleting the letters one by one. Okay, and again, to delete the letters or to turn to reverse the letter count, we use this one. That's why we created that baby there. Okay, we put that one there, and now this is true. Okay, and we also need to tell the system, hey, we arrived at the maximum letter count. This just happened. That was the last letter for that word. Okay, I think that's all that we need. Actually, at that moment we need to pause it. So I think we gotta add to the text word wait time counter. Actually, just give me this baby here. At that moment we have to make it wait. So we're gonna start counting the 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 timer for that for the waiting of the word, so that it knows, okay, we finished the word. Now we gotta wait. We need to give a couple of, depending what the user put here, milliseconds, so that the user can actually read the word. You know, they have enough time to actually read the word before it starts getting deleted. Okay. Now we're gonna do basically the opposite. Just, it's obvious. Text word letter position, and here's where we gotta make sure that we don't make a boo boo, because uh, let me see if you can understand this part. It's gonna be rendering the word from left to right, each character. Okay, before it gets to the last one, text word letter position actually started in 0. But we need to tell it that when it's on 0 and it finished rendering the word, do this or do that. Do know that if we just tell it that when it's on 0, do this, it will immediately kick in the moment that we start rendering the word. It will immediately kick in. We can't allow it to kick in immediately. We can only allow it to kick in once text word letter position is 0 and it has actually shown the full word. The only thing that's changing here for the full word, or at least the main one here, is this invert text effect order. So what we can do is the following. We can say, well, when you're at position 0 again for that word, and this is set, meaning if this is set, it's because we actually render the whole word. And if this is also happening at the same time, it means that we finished deleting the whole word. So now we can move on to the next word. So when it gets to that point, we obviously need to set this back. We don't want to keep it there. Okay, let's leave it up to there. Thinking too much here. Um, okay, let me tackle this. There's too much to analyze here. Let's just do the effect. So we got text words. We got the text effect here. Let's just call it the text effect before I go crazy. We're gonna see what's happening here. So, okay, so again, that's the object, text words. Okay, and we got the text position there, which we're gonna be adding to it. Text words position. Let me double check. Yep, yeah, text word position. And we need to tell it how it's gonna be rendering those letters. So because it's one character at a time, and it's gonna be starting from the left, from 0 position. We can just use substring. Okay, that's that. And this is the magical baby that's gonna be doing everything. Text, word, letter position. If you're a developer, you know what's about to happen. This is gonna be dynamically being changed and being added, or incremented or decremented, depending on how the whole thing is behaving. So for the increment and decrement part, we're gonna let me see. We do this invert text effect order. If that's enabled, and obviously we haven't surpassed the word, wait time counter is greater than the text word delay. Then word letter position. Okay, so this means if we're supposed to start deleting letters and the text word wait time counters is greater than the text word delay, okay, and we're gonna put the text word delay here, okay, that means that we're just saying we just got to the end, and because of the amount of that it got to the maximum here, and now we're supposed to revert the deleting part. We start just deleting them, visually deleting them through here, one character at a time, starting from the last one. That's what's happening there. Now, if we're not supposed to be deleting them, then we're supposed to be adding them. Oh my god. Okay. I want to leave it up to now. Let's refresh here because I need to see if I need to validate something here or there. Let's refresh this. Yeah, exactly. Okay. At least it's working. Okay. But I need to now I need to change the basically the word rotation. Let me think about what we need to do here. By the way, I'm not even adding the color. Give me a second. Those are the values. Remember the keys, values, values. Okay. And if you have multiple values, by the way, obviously you gotta do a key on the key and then the value of that one. For the associated array kind of thinking. Okay, and it's the same thing. I don't need to make up stuff here. Let me see. Object values, text words position. Let me just save that and actually let me see if I missed something here. Let's refresh. It's supposed to now show the word, but on the yeah, exactly. Okay. Up to there we're good. Hmm. Okay, I see. Yeah, I'm done. We got the text word max here, true. Okay, meaning we got to the end of the word, but I never created the min one. When we got to the minimum of the word, again, maybe meaning a full cycle. We show the full word, and then we remove the full word. At that moment, after removing the full word, that's a full cycle. I have to put a check. That check can be put here, actually. And we need to also make sure that I actually did do the full word. So I'm gonna do this max. Okay, text word max. If we actually show the full word, then that's the moment that this kicks in. Okay. Why do I need this? Because of the other idea that I was about to add. This if here. If if the text word min and the text word max just happened, which means we were able to show the full word, and then after we deleted all the characters for that full word, this kicked in, meaning we were able to show the word, full word, and then we deleted the full word. When those two happens, that means we finished the cycle. And then I just reset them all. I reset this one too. Actually, I gotta reset a bunch of things now that I think about it. We position the next word. Remember, because at this moment, this is always zero. At that moment, this is always zero. It's always on the same word, engineers. We gotta move it to the next one because we finished rendering that first word. Because of that, I also gotta reset everything else that we were um, timing in there. So the wait time counter needs to be reset. So it shows the word for X amount of seconds. Invert text effect order, just in case. I gotta reset everything. And the text. Oh yeah, the letter position. Lord, we gotta start from the first letter, obviously. Um, okay, let's run it like that. Now, in theory, it should show the next word. Hopefully. Okay, that's good. Let me just double check that actually. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. When it gets to the last one, actually, it's gonna give me an error because I didn't put something that says, well, when you get to the last word, start from the beginning. And the last word is, I think, teachers or doctors, or something like that. There you go. You broke. And you broke a lot of times. We have to put that one here. Um, see, that's why you gotta do some analysis there. So if, let me see, if text words position, remember at this moment we need to add one here because of the position that we're talking about. It's greater than text words count. How many words you actually counted there? Um, Whoops. We had another one there. Yeah, exactly. And then that means that text words position will start from the beginning. For let me see. There you go, engineers, realtors, architects, mhm, designers, beautiful, marketers, teachers, very important ones. I was a college professor in my country. Engineers. There we go. That's it. Okay, so now in 55 lines, we have even less because we don't even need this space here. Um, and that one. There you go. So now you got the three that you as the owner or the developer can actually edit in 53 lines of code. By the way, neatly organized. Um, we have that that effect there. Um, let me see. What else can we add here? Oh, well, a couple of days ago, I discovered the filtering option for drop shadow. So we could add that too. Let's put it, let's put it here. Um, let's do two things. Text effect, style, font weight. Make it bold, of course. It's bold. And then let me remove that. I hate when it does that. And here we do the filtering option, and I believe it was drop shadow, but it behaves like a typical text shadow. So we can do something like black. Let me see. Let me save it, and let's see what's gonna happen with this text. It's supposed to have a neat shadow and also be bold, like a little bit different than the one there. Yeah, let me refresh again. There we go. See? So now I have like a shadowy kind of thing. Stands out a little bit more. Okay. If you can't see the shadowy thing, let me remove the background, and there you go. See? Obviously, you will need to play around with that one depending on the background there. Okay. Let's add. Well, you know what? Let's add the actual cursor. I didn't think about that one. Let's put a style. That's for sure in animation. So in CSS, you got something called keyframes for animation. For simple animations. Actually, they could be very complex. Let me do it like this. Okay. So we say 0%. We want. No, we don't want to do that. We want the thing to be blinking. So let me do it like this. Let me think. Yeah. We're gonna do it like this. This thing is just adding a lot of spaces every time I type something. And here we just need 100, which is just the normal one there. Okay. Then we go here and we say for that text effect, remember it's ID text effect. After it shows the words and all that. Remove this again. Jeez. We show, guess what? The little cursor, our little baby there. Okay. And then let's do a font size of, well, I don't know if you guys are gonna be changing the font size. Yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna be changing that depending on your site. So instead of me putting a fixed let's do I'm not gonna do pixels because I don't know what font size you're gonna be using. So this is basically 0.9 90% of whatever you're gonna be using at that moment, depending on the font size. So if you use 100 pixels, this is 90 pixels. If you use 10 pixels, this will be 9 pixels, something like that. Okay. So it adapts. That's what I'm trying to say. It adapts to what the amount of pixels that you'll be using on your site. And that's it for that part. Now we do the animation. The animation, it's blink because we called it blink. It's gonna be looping forever. Okay. Okay. And apart from that, it's gonna be exchange. It's gonna be turning from the 0 to 100 and the 100 to a 0. Okay. For that, we call this. Okay. And how fast? I have no idea. Let's do 5 seconds, maybe. I don't know. Good question. That's where I suck. So let me see. Let me see how it's gonna look. Wow, it's a bit slow. Let me put 3. Yeah, look at that baby. Yeah, it looks like somebody's typing. Yeah, nice, nice. Okay. Yeah, keep on going. Okay, so yeah, I like it. I don't think we gotta add anything else. Yeah, it's good. Okay, now we need to test in the different cases. So right now we have a a standard background, not moving. We're gonna change it to the slider, which are the only two cases that actually happen on the home page. So let's put a slider here, and I got no images. Okay, enable that one. We go to this one. I don't know. We click that one, save it. I know it's the same image, but you get my point. It's a slider. Let's refresh. Why am I saying that? Because this could the colors. Oh wow. Yeah. I was gonna say that because of this slider, the colors in the background could affect the colors of the word. So you might be able to um, change the color of the words based on the timing of the background. So maybe the word could change at the same rhythm as the background slider. Okay, but this might be happening because let me check something here. I want to add something here because it could be happening that this is not, it didn't load this when it actually had to because of the slider. Um, let me do something here. This one. Okay. Timeout, and we do. We're gonna do this. I'm putting a timeout in case what I just said is actually the issue. So we have to wait basically a couple of milliseconds or something. I'm not gonna make it wait a lot, just 200 milliseconds, 250 milliseconds, which is very quick actually. But if it's that, then now we know that for the slider, we gotta, when you're using a slider, we gotta put a timeout before it starts running this whole thing. Um, let me save it. Refresh here. Okay. We gotta lower this baby. Let me see. That's only happening with this slider. Mm. I see what's happening. I'm loading it's loading this, the the element. We got basically I gotta put the whole thing inside the timeout because I believe that it's loading this before the slider actually lets me read it. If that's the reason, then we could put this back to 250 to give it enough time for the slider to actually load. That element, the span with the text effect properly. That was it. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Teachers. I'm just waiting for the last one. I need to make sure that everything is working properly. Proper QA. There we go. That's all I needed to know. And console errors, no console errors, no nothing. So now you as the owner have a 70 line code where you can control how many words you want to put here, the delay. Okay, this could be lowered. Let's put 140, for example. If we're gonna lower that one, then we better make this one faster. Um, let's refresh. Oh yeah, look at that baby. More professional. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So we're good to go there. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. As a developer, you see the things that you need to think about. I would put a challenge, which would be, crazy ideas like creating this into a link. So the moment that the full word is there, this turns into a link, and when you hover over it, it highlights like underlines the whole thing. You can click on it, it actually searches for that. That's one idea. Um, if you wanted to. Um, maybe something else about dynamically grabbing the type of top categories that are here, and those were the ones that would get feeded into the showing of this. Maybe stats. You can use this for stats. So instead of saying search for this, you could say something down here like, my website with 250 members, 3,000 views, and then it deletes the whole thing, 20,000 shares, and then it deletes the whole thing, and so on and so forth. Like a little banner animated ad for stats. Just some ideas there. Okay. So with that said, think positive as always. Big hugs to everybody and love you all.